This is
Asking Radio 98.5 FM.
Guide me, just stay beside me. Oh, nobody wants to go it alone, and I just wanna stay here with you. You are a rainbow, so I am a lucky one. I am a lucky one. You are my favorite song.
A speedy welcome to the show for everyone. This is Women of Speed on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and I'm your host on the show. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, and I'm here with
Wandedoo Tortya
and Felicity Girgir.
And Women of Speed is that show where we bring you a story to inspire you. We talk about women, different things, when it comes to women, whether mothers, wives, or women who we consider women of speed. And today on the show, we are going to be talking about, a mother's influence on her children. Like, how did your mother actually influence something in you? Maybe something you're even doing up till today, a particular behavior. Maybe it was the way that she used to behave, or maybe it was something that she told you that made you to even become who you are today. How far it could have been a story, it could have been a saying that she constantly used to say, and then it somehow influenced your life to become who you are today. You can call in and share with us. So today on Women of Speed, it's mothers, mothers of speed. That is what we are going to be talking about, those women and how they actually influence our lives. Now, you also can call in and be part of the show. Number for you to call is 090 3648 5868.
That's 090 3648 5868.
And we are also streaming live on Facebook at Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM Makudi. So you can watch live on Facebook and even leave a comment if you have something to say. What is one thing that your mother has taught you, that still influences the person that you are today? Today, let's talk about mothers, because they are women of speed. Those are people that, deserve all their appreciation, deserve to be recognized. So if there is something that she has actually taught you that still stuck with you, up to this moment, you can share that here with us on the show. Tell us about, Tell us about it. Tell us, maybe was it a way that she was behaving? Because sometimes, like I said earlier, it's not like she's actually saying anything. You just look at my mom and you say, this is the kind of woman that she is, and then you're influenced, and then you find yourself leaning towards that direction even when you are a grown-up. So let us hear from you this afternoon on Women of Speed. Wando, have you ever been influenced, by your mom, maybe by something that she said or the way that she behaved?
Well, yes. Mothers are the first model to a child.
Okay.
Like my mom, she's my model. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. There was a time at home where I came back crying, and someone bullied me in school. I came back crying, and I ran to my mom, and she was like, she trained me better. If someone bullied me, I should have this confidence to stand and defend myself, talk to the person. So mothers, they care for you. They teach you how to be confident, to stand bold, and rebuke someone, or stand for yourself. So my mom taught me how to be strong, how to overcome fears, how to go out there and face the world.
Okay.
No matter what comes my way, I should know that I can do it. Yes, I'm capable. So yes, mothers care, they stand by you, and they help you to build you. Like they are your first model, as I said. They are your first people that you come in contact with.
Okay.
Yes. So they help you to build.
And for you, your mom, one thing that you say she influenced, you was like how to stand up for yourself.
Yes.
And then even when someone bullies, you are able to fight back. Felicity, is there anything, that your mom has actually influenced you to become even today?
Yes. One thing about my mom is that she's too kind.
Okay.
Yes, she's overly kind, and till date I'm still struggling with that, because that being kind is different from being too kind.
Okay.
So yes, it's something that I have up to date, and I'm still trying to because sometimes when you are too kind, I think we spoke about that one time, when you are too kind, it has disadvantages. So it's still something that she influenced me in that way. She did not tell me that, oh, you have to be kind. Well, she did, but she's not don't be kind
she didn't
not
actually say
so
it,
it's something that
words.
she was doing, and then I just picked it, and I'm still with doing that till date.
All right, so you also can call in and be part of the show. Tell us, is there something that your mom, your mother actually influenced you? Like when you look at yourself, you say that, okay, this is the way that I actually treat, is from my mother. I learned something like this, how to relate with other people. It's my mom that I learned something like this. Okay, maybe this is what I should do, or this is what I shouldn't do. And when you look at yourself, you're like, okay, I have become the perfect person, or I have become maybe not the perfect person, because you know what they say, no one is perfect. But then I've become this person that when I look at myself, I'm so proud of myself, and it's all my mother's doing. It's that influence, I got from her. Maybe not just all, but then maybe most part of it, or some of it, sometimes you look back at her. And when we talk about mothers, sometimes it's not just the birth mom, like the person who actually maybe gave birth to you. There are people, there are strong women who have actually stood the place of mothers in people's life, and then they have influenced them, put something in them that they have actually grown up with. So you also can call in and be part of the show. Tell us, what is one thing that your mom has taught you, or has influenced you with, that you still live today, and then it's something that still helps your life today, maybe even pushed you to where you are today. Number for you to call is 090-3648 5868.
That's 090-3648-5868.
It's Women of Speed on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and this afternoon on the show we are talking about the influence of mothers on their children. When you look at mothers, they have so much influence when it comes to the children. They have so many things that they try to instill in those children, sometimes even with the words of their own mouth, the things that they will say, or even their behavior, because when it comes to children, sometimes you feel like, okay, they are not watching, but then they're actually looking, and they know, oh, my mom used to behave like this. This is the way that my mom treats my dad, right? You get what I'm saying? This is the way that my mom treats my dad. So when I grow up, this is what I am going to do. Hello. Good afternoon. Yes, what's your name? All right, you can still call us back and be part of the show. It's 090-3648-5868.
That's 090-3648-5868.
Call in and let us hear from you. What is one thing that your mom has taught you, that actually lives with you till today? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon. What's your name? All right, you can still call us back, and if you're having trouble reaching us, we are also streaming live on Facebook at Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM Makudi. Hello.
Yes.
Good
Hello.
afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, please move away from your radio set or turn down the volume.
Just turn it off.
All right. So, what is your name and where are you calling from?
Okay, I'm Comrade Agba David Fati. I'm
right.
calling right away from Akodi High Level.
All right. Welcome to the show, Comrade Agba David.
Thank you very much. You know, my mom has actually taught me a lot of things that actually discipline my life to this extent. But one most important thing that I always hold on to is part of if you have a friend, you are with your friend, don't borrow such a friend anything, because immediately you borrow, that money that you borrow to the person is going to break that friendship.
Okay.
You know, I am saying this thing out of experience. You know, I was with my friend, we were together, and the moment he asked of money and I gave him, in fact, that was somebody whom I can even confide in. And then I gave him money, and then for him to pay back the money, it became an issue.
Okay.
And that actually broke our relationship. You know, when I was talking and expressing all these things to my mom, she told me that. And but since that very day till this very moment, any relationship where I deal with money, you know, they concern also.
Okay.
And they borrow, and you know, PC ma borrow, and me self, I know fear as you say this and that, and that actually kept us to this very thing.
Okay.
So that's one thing I hold on to.
All right. All right.
So there are other things as well. There are other things as well. Anyways, you said one, but I don't want to say two.
All right. All right. Thank
this you. Other thing of not looking at somebody's thing, whatever you have should be okay for you. You know, there are certain times that, in fact, no matter what, no matter how choked up I am, I prefer taking Gary morning, afternoon, and evening because that is what I have. So it should be okay. I cannot go and then be salivating because somebody is eating the good food. You know, some of those things, they are very, very important. So that's my own contribution today.
Thank you so much for calling in to be part of the show, Comrade Agba. It's Women of Speed on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and this afternoon on the show we are talking about the influence of mothers on their children. And Comrade Agba, if you're still listening, tell your mom she is a woman of speed, or at least you know that. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon. All right, you can still call us back and be part of the show. Let us hear something, you know, that your mom has actually taught you, or a way that she has actually influenced your life, you know, to who you have actually become today, or maybe some of the policies that you live by. So, Wando, you wanted to comment on what Comrade Agba said.
Yes, talking about contentment. Even my mom always tell us to be contented with what you have. Sometimes when we not cook like in the morning and our neighbor cook and we are like salivating or looking at the food that they are eating, my mom will come like, come on, okay, what are you doing there? Why are you standing there?
Okay.
Be contented with what you have. That was her emphasis. She will be like, even if you don't have now, if the food is not ready, it will soon be ready. So just exercise patience.
Okay.
Just be patient. It's a matter of time before you know the food will be ready and you have yours. So it really helps, because sometimes if you go against it, like if you're not contented and you decide to, might even go and steal. So contentment, she really taught us to be contented with whatever we have.
Yes, go on.
Yes, and he also talked about borrowing. Like his mom taught him not to borrow. Like sometimes if you borrow and it brings disagreements or even conflicts in friendship.
Yes.
You borrow a friend money and to return it becomes problem. So it helps you know like hearing to your mom's what your moms tell you to do. It really helps because what they see, you might not see it at that time.
Yes. And you see that one that you talked about, maybe as something of looking at another person's food, and they tell you your own will soon be ready. At that point, as a child, you're just looking at it. Well, it's food that they are talking about. But you grow up, and then there's some things in life, and you're looking at just food. Okay, there is no need to rush. There is no need to keep looking. My own will soon be ready.
Yes, and I think that's supposed to be the first thing I would have said. That thing of, because she's always telling me, don't compare yourself to somebody else. Even if you see somebody with something, just work for your own.
Exactly.
Or if you don't have it now, save till you are able to buy. If you are not able to afford it, don't allow it to I am not able to afford this one, I'm coming from this kind of background and all of that. Be content with what you have.
Blow your own fire. If your neighbor's food is already ready, and then you are looking at that, why not put that effort and blow your own fire, so that your own can also get done quickly. Now you also can call in and be part of the show. Number for you to call is 090-3648-5868.
It's 090-3648-5868.
This afternoon on Women of Speed, we are talking about the influence of mothers on their children. What is something that your mom has taught you, right from time, or a way that she lived or she lives that still influences your life, even today, and you say it has even made you someone that you are today, or at least if it has influenced some part of your life that you are so grateful for, you can call in and let us hear from you. And we are also streaming live on Facebook at Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM Makudi. So you can watch live on Facebook and leave a comment if you have something to say. Tell us about your mom. If she is a woman of speed, or if she was a woman of speed, because it's women of speed that have this kind of, doings, that do things like this, that are able to influence their children with the right things that they need, and even when they grow up, you can still see evidence of whatever they have put in there, whether it's discipline, whatever it is that they have put in there, you can still see it on children like that. So let us hear from you this afternoon. Now, there is this angle I would actually like to talk about. Like, do you think it's actually possible for someone to even get influenced and even learn from maybe a mother's mistake? You see that, okay, this is something that my mom was doing, but then maybe it was because of her knowledge. If you look at maybe some of our mothers, you know that, okay, maybe it's the knowledge that they have coming from their time is different from our time. So like, that is the kind of knowledge that they have. This is the way that they thought that they could go about this thing, or maybe, okay, this is the kind of spirit, that they had, or this is what was in their head. So is it possible? Have you ever learned maybe from your mom's mistake or anything like that?
Yes, I have. Well, I've learned from my mom's mistake. Like, she wasn't able to like further her education. So but she had this perseverance, like this strongness that her children must go to school. So her own mistake was she wasn't able, and
she wasn't able, like, on purpose, because if that's on purpose, then
that's
be fair to say if it's on
if
purpose,
it's not on purpose, then it's not.
Yes. So like, it was on purpose. Maybe at some point you said, in fact, I'm not doing this school thing again.
Well, it wasn't on purpose. In the morning, the resources wasn't available. It was not available at the time. But for her, she made up her mind that her children must go. So even though she wasn't able, and I will not say it was not on purpose, because it was not her own, like, will I say, responsibility, and there was no availability for her to make means and go to school. But when she grew up and had children, she took it upon herself that her own children must go to school. Yes. So she trained us to go to school to our best. Yes. So she made sure that we went to school. Yes. So she persevered, like perseverance. She had this strong will that we persistent. Persistent, that we must go to. So that strong will, that persistence, that's what struck me. So I've learned to be persistent. If things are not going on well at this particular time, it's not will I say
give up.
Yes, to give up. I cannot give up. I should just know that it's just a matter of time, and things will definitely work out for good.
All right. It's Women of Speed on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, and I'm here with
Wandedoo Tortya.
And Felicity Girgir.
And this afternoon, we are talking about the influence of mothers on their children. You know, mothers are women of speed. The kind of things that they do, the sacrifices, you know, the influence, some of those things that they don't even know that they are doing, you know, that they just try to like make sure that, okay, their children grow up the right way, they have the right values, the right morals, you know, sometimes even from their own mistakes, that sometimes your mom can even be vulnerable and then tell you, okay, this was the mistake that I made.
Yes.
You know, when I was growing up, and maybe this was the mistake that I made. I just allowed myself to be distracted, maybe by friends, and then maybe with different things that were, you know, social circles and the rest. But then you can learn from that and then not do the same thing. You know, you can actually focus right now. Sometimes it's actually like that. So you can tell us something. What is an influence that your mother has had on your life? You know, what is something that she has taught you that has actually made you maybe who you are today, or have contributed to who you are today? And when we talk about mothers, you know, we are not talking about maybe just the birth moms, because sometimes not everyone is going to be that privileged maybe to have that one, but then they are privileged to have someone who
else
would be in that figure, who would take that sense of, okay, a mother in their lives, and then they will not even feel like anything
I don't have a birth mother.
Exactly. So you can call in and let us hear on 090-3648 5868.
That's 090-3648 5868.
And we are also streaming live on Facebook at Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM Markedi. So you can watch live on Facebook and even leave a comment if you have something to say about what your mom has actually put in you, you know, and then it has actually even been helping you up till now. It could be something small, it could be something big, because when we start talking about, okay, something that my mom has taught me, most people are thinking about maybe something so huge. It could simply be maybe telling you, stop this particular thing, like stop this particular thing, and then you grew up and then realize, okay, this is why my mom used to tell me like this. I was once at your age, I was once a young girl like you, and then I know that at this time, this is where you have maybe male attention, and then you know, okay, if you're not careful, it's at this point that maybe your life will get destroyed. You know how it is, right? So Felicity, have you ever learned, you know, from your mom's maybe mistake that she has made?
Yes, I have. The most significant mistake that she always reminds me to date is not really a good thing to share on air, but the other one is that she always tells me that, okay, don't settle, this thing of don't settle, and that thing of over kindness. She always tells me that, okay, if it's okay to be, and it's a very good thing to be kind to somebody, but if you see that that person is a selfish person and the person is not going to be kind to you, you know, draw back, because she discovered that, okay, this is one, those are that's one of the things that have, you know, affected her and all of that. So she's always telling me that, and then don't settle, and then if you are kind to somebody and you notice that, okay, the person is not really showing you that same kindness, you know, draw back. Don't be too kind, foolishly kind. That's how she puts it. Don't be foolishly kind. Yes, that's what so she always tells me that till date.
Yes. And one thing I learned from my mom, one her mistakes was to trust someone easily. Like, you don't just see somebody and trust the person. You have to study the person, know if you can trust this person or not, because she's someone that easily trusts. Like, she trusts someone so easily. So that's her pitfall. So she's like, I should not follow her way. I should, if before I trust somebody, I should make sure that I know this person from back to back before I would like fully trust the person or give the person my heart
or information.
That's something very, you know, something very important, because you know, I don't know, is it easier to trust people more, you know, in this generation, or is it before? If I start maybe making those comparison, like I don't even know where to fall. It's more like these days people are trusting on certain levels, and then for other things, you know, like when it comes to like personal relationships, people are trusting so easily. Like the time that it would take to know someone before you are actually trusting them these days, like it could be 1 minute, and I don't know how to put it, but you get what I'm saying. It could be we just met on the bus, and then the next thing, that person is your
is your close bestie,
is your, you know, and anything like that. So it's actually possible, you know, some of these things, and when they say it, like some of these things are actually very important, but then maybe at that point we are not knowing that, okay, we don't know yet that this is what it means, or it's actually very important, or you say, oh, my mom is just to talk. Because you know, there are some things that maybe growing up, I think, was it around my year one or things like that, I used to actually maybe sneak out, not sneak out, but like, okay, should we call it sneak, maybe sneak and then it would be more like, okay, I want to actually go and visit, do whatever, and then not maybe as too extreme, because me myself, I'm someone who is very scared of things, or even if someone is not watching, like I'm so scared of even other things. And she would tell me that all these things that you're doing and you think I don't know, like I know that you used to disappear by this time and then come back quickly before I come. I also know that, okay, all these things you're wearing, you go and drag it at some point. And then when I look back at some of the things I used to do, I would say it's God that even saved me for some things, because how I would go and trust somebody to maybe go and stay somewhere, and then I'll feel, I don't really want to go into details, but I'll just imagine myself, oh, this person, I'll tell him no, and then like everything as I used to actually think that. And I'm thinking about it now, and I'll be like, okay, imagine that maybe one day I was so unlucky, or maybe something else can actually. So when she would be saying all of these things, just trying to you are I beg. Mothers are always worrying too much, but they always know. Trust me, a mother always know. I don't know how. Maybe it's God, maybe it's just nature, but like they always know.
And she used to be like, let someone prove the person self. Like, let this person prove that you are good, or let the person prove the person self before you like give your heart to the person or trust the person fully. Let be a proof, like prove yourself. That's our emphasis all the time.
Okay, all right. So it's been Women of Speed on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and being your host on the show, my name is Marysyntia Hangeior, and I've been here with
Wandedoo Tortya
and Felicity Girgir,
and we have been talking about the influence of mothers on their children, and all those sacrifices, the lessons that we learn from our moms, the kind of things that she would tell us maybe we didn't even understand from a tender age, but then we grew up to actually understand. Those are the things that we have been talking about. If you're lucky and your mom is still here today, you're always learning. As a human being, you're always going to be learning. Still listening, allow that woman of speed to do what she actually came to this world to do for you, guide you and put you through and all of those things, and you would never actually regret it. So that is it for the show. Coming up next at 3:55 p.m. It's today is your birthday, and Speedy Kids are going to be wishing you a happy birthday. And also up next at 4 p.m. the Speed Lane comes on here on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. Keep enjoying Speedy Classics until then.
This is Asking Radio 98.5 FM. AskingRadio.com app available